Good morning everyone. I hope you all having an amazing day. My name is Arash Shahriari. I'm a licensed agent for health, life, and property and casualty with Pars Financials Insurance. We provide insurance, tax, and financial products. My channel, Persian Money, is all about finances and enhancing the life of people in America in terms of insurance, taxes, and finances. Today's video is about personal auto policy and to give you some insight about valuable information that you want to know before you want to get a personal auto policy. I'm sure you all had personal auto policy for yourself or your family for such a long time, and I hope you find this information very valuable. Before I want to get started, I want to give a quick disclaimer. None of the information in this video or this channel should be taken as a financial advice. If you need exact information, my information is in the description as on the screen. Please go ahead and contact me directly. So that being said, let's just jump right into the video. So what is personal auto policy? We're going to start answering those questions one by one. Personal auto policy, or as we call it, PAP, is an insurance that the individual gets on their car. And I guess just to clarify right off the bat, if there's anything that you get out of this video, is that when you have a personal auto policy on a vehicle, you are insuring a car. The car is the one that's being insured here, so not an individual. This concept gives you a lot of leverage, and I'm going to break that all down for you. So when you have a personal auto policy, aside from the individual whose name is on the declaration, his spouse or her spouse, whomever that person is, and also the children as well of that person, as long as they have a driver's license and the permission of the person to drive, they're also included on that policy. This might helps because oftentimes you might have some individual in your family, like teenager, who they may have they're young, they might have some kind of a bad history of driving record, they had an accident, and because of them your rate is going to go substantially high. So in order to prevent that and save yourself a ton of money, you can just get yourself an auto policy, and as long as those criteria that I just mentioned are met, that person is automatically there. So covered individuals. Named person, on declaration, spouse, children, and also the other individual or individuals who would be insured are the ones that, let's say, a friend or a coworker who you give them permission to drive your car. If that person ends up having an accident, basically, your insurance, your personal auto policy will cover the vehicle, given that they were the ones who were behind the wheel and driving the car. So, now the next topic that I want to talk about is that which vehicles in the auto policy, personal auto policy, are covered. So Obviously, to begin with, the vehicle that is listed on the declaration. Other than the name vehicle on the declaration, also the vehicles that after the purchase date of the personal auto policy, any vehicle that you end up purchasing and buying, even though their name is not listed on the declaration, you don't add them, they're automatically also covered under that personal auto policy that you might have. So just to be clear, whoever purchased or whose name is on the declaration of the personal auto policy, if they purchase any vehicle after the start date of the insurance policy, those vehicles are also insured. Other than that, let's say you go on a vacation or your car needs repair and you end up renting a temporary vehicle. So any temporary vehicle that you rent or somehow you drive in, those vehicles also as well will be included on your personal auto policy automatically. Okay, so that's for that. Now, the next thing that I want to talk about is the deductible on the personal auto and how that works. So the way that the deductible for So the way that the deductible for the personal auto works is a bit different from the way that the deductible works for the health insurance that you typically may buy to the insurance health insurance carriers. With the personal auto policy, the deductible is per claim basically. So every time you have a claim, you will end up paying that same deductible as is mentioned on your declaration. So, for example, for the duration of that personal auto insurance, if you end up having like 2 claims and your deductible is $1,000, so you will end up paying $2,000 because basically is 2 incidents at $1,000. Okay, so that's for that. The next thing that I'm going to talk about, I'm going to break down the different components that you could get to insure your car under the personal auto. So what is liability? So liability gives you 2 types of coverage, one for property damage and the second for the personal injury of the individual that you had an accident with and you were the individual at fault damaging that person's vehicle. So this liability covers that other individual involved in the accident, given that the fault of the accident was with you. So body damage or property property damage. And personal injury. Or PIP as we call it. Now remember, liability does not give you any coverage for your own vehicle, and certainly it doesn't if you were not at fault. So this is something to always remember. So the second component actually is well known individually by these two components that it breaks down to. For the sake of simplicity, we just refer to that other than liability. And the first component is the components of the collision, and the second one would be comprehensive. So what is collision? When you have an accident, regardless of who was the person who was at fault, collision gives you coverage to cover the damage to your car, your vehicle. So what is comprehensive? Now comprehensive might be a little bit misleading in terms of the vocabulary, because you might, when you see the term comprehensive, you might determine this as either like a full coverage, or you may think that this means that any kind of damage that you might have to your vehicle is automatic coverage. Now to keep in mind, definitely comprehensive does not have that feature by itself, and no kind of insurance will give you full coverage. Really, we just call it full coverage if you have all these three components, because they take care of most of the things. Just to give you a clarification on that. Now, comprehensive basically gives you coverage for everything else other than accident that you were involved in it. So any scenario that you were not behind the wheel and you had nothing to do with that, comprehensive is where it comes in and kicks in, and you can basically use that to cover for the damages that you had to your vehicle. For example, if your car ends up to being getting flooded, or is vandalized, or it was stolen, or I don't know, all of a sudden some kind of foreign object falls on it and it damages. So this is where the comprehensive will come in and will pay for it. So the next part that I want to talk about is called the uninsured motorist. Uninsured motorist is a component that you add to your personal auto, and that will allow you to file a claim under your own insurance if the individual who was at fault and you had an accident with them, either they don't have an insurance to cover your claim, or let's say you had a situation where it was a hit and run, that person just ran away. Basically any scenario that you're not able to get money from that individual who was the party at fault. This is really to make it simple. Usually when you see a quote, there's three numbers, in the middle of each is a /. For example, let's say you see a quote that has 25,000, 50,000, and 35,000. So what are these numbers? The first number that you see here is the ceiling that the insurance, the maximum number that the insurance company will pay for the personal injury. That is the injury that one person involved in that accident sustained. So this is for the PIP, personal injury component of it. The second one is basically the aggregate PIP, or better said, the total amount, the maximum amount that the insurance company will pay for multiple individuals involved in that accident, for the injury sustained by multiple individuals involved in that accident. And the third component is the property damage. That is the maximum amount that the insurance company will pay for the damage sustained to your vehicle, as well as the individual who perhaps you were at fault and you're responsible to pay for their damage. I hope that the information that you saw in this video was helpful to you and you can make use of it. If you found this video helpful, please do like, subscribe, and share. This way the YouTube algorithm would recommend that video to other people. If you don't like and subscribe, likely the YouTube algorithm is going to figure out that this video was not helpful, so it will not give it that priority when you want to give it recommendation to other people. If you like more videos, please go ahead and leave me a comment. All my information, contact information is also in the description as well. For purchasing an insurance policy, being it for homeowners, car, health, life, or any other insurance, if it has insurance into it, I can help you out with that, as well as the taxes and investments. I'm a tax preparer as well, and I can get orders from across the United States, wherever it might be. So with that being said, I wish you well. Have a great day.